Okay, so this is a FRP question, okay? So just now I was sharing so much about FRP, right? So let's take a look at how a FRP question looks like. So the number of boys and girls taking part in a quiz are in the ratio of 7:4. These students are put into two groups. 30% of the boys and 60% of the girls are in group P, and the rest of the students are in group Q. So what is the ratio of the number of students in P to Q? And give your answer in the simplest form. Okay, whenever you see a question that has a percentage in it, I will always ask my students to change the percentage to a fraction so that's easier to work with. Okay, so 30% is 3/10, 60% is 3/5. So now let's take a look at the first sentence. Boys is to girls is 7:4. So let's use the read and write. We write it down, 7:4. Okay, the ratio. And since 30% of them are boys, let's take a look at the boys. The boys is 7 units. And if you take 30% of 7 units, you will have a decimal. Okay, I do not like to work with decimal, so I'll actually multiply my ratio by 10. Okay, so that I do not have decimals. So that will give me 70:40 for the ratio. And after I've done so, I will then find the number of boys, which is, sorry, the total number of units is 70 plus 40, right? That is 110. Okay, and then I will use this to find the number of boys. Okay, so 3/10 times 70 for the boys, that will give you 21 units. And the girls is actually 60% of the girls, right? And since you know that 60% is 3/5, so that will just be 3/5 of 40 units because there are 40 units for the girls, and that will give you 24 units. All right, so we do not want to work with decimals, okay? I mean, you can work with decimals if you're familiar with it. If you do not like decimals, you can always multiply by 10. So now, part A, they're asking you to find for the ratio of students in P to Q. Can we first find how many students are there in group P first? So boys plus girls. So we will take 21 plus 24. That will give us 45 units. And since the total number of units is 110, and the question says that the rest of the students are in Q. 45 units are in P, so how many are there in Q? So you will take 110 units minus 45 units. That will give you 65 units in Q. But this is not your final answer because they want it in terms of ratio. So be careful when you're writing down ratio. Always write the title down first, the header, which is P is to Q, so you don't get it the other way around. So P is 45, Q is 65. Remember to simplify it, okay? And then you will have 9:13. Okay, so this is your part A answer. All right. Okay, so do you all have any questions for this? Is it all okay? Yes, as long as you do not have a decimal, it's okay. I multiply by 10 so that everything will be a number that's easier to calculate. Okay? Okay, let's move on to part B now. Okay, so now part B is asking you the number of boys in P is fewer than 70. What is the largest possible total number of students taking part in the quiz? Okay, so since the number of boys in P is 21 units, right, which is what we found previously, right, you know that the number of boys must be a multiple of 21 because 21 units is a ratio, right? So it definitely has to be a multiple of 21. But the question says that the boys is fewer than 70, so you cannot go past 70, right? So if you list out the multiples of 21, anybody wants to try, what do you think will be the closest number for the boys? You can't be more than 70. Okay. Yes, very good. Esther, anyone else wants to try? What is a multiple of 21 that is not over 70? Yes, Amanda, thank you. Okay, thank you, everybody. Yep. Okay. So it's actually 63 because if you take 21 times 2, it's only 42. You can go on one more time, which is 63. Okay, so we can't go above 63 because if you plus 21 again, then it will be more than 70 already. Okay, so therefore, the largest possible number of boys, right, can only be 63 because it has to be a multiple of 21 and it cannot be more than 70. Okay, so you know that 21 units is 63, 1 unit will be 3. All right, and then now to find, remember earlier we have found the total number of units. boys plus girls is 70 plus 40, right? Which is 110. So how do you find the largest possible total number of students taking part in the quiz? You just have to take 110 times 3 because there's 110 units, and that will give you 330. Yes, correct, Valerie. Okay, you can't use 42 for the multiples because you have to go up to 63 because that's the closest number that's lesser than 70. Okay.